Hey y'all. So my husband got mad at me in church last week. I have this problem. I have ADD, and it's real. It's real. It's not in my head. It's real. And so at church, I like to sit close up to the front so I can pay attention to the preacher. Because if we sit toward the back or the middle, there's so many people in between us that I'm paying attention to what they're doing and saying and moving around, and their kids are crying and they're getting out chewing gum, and it distracts me from what the preacher's saying. So I like to sit up front. Well, my husband for some reason doesn't like to sit up front. Well, normally I just walk in first and go sit wherever I want to sit, and he can either come with me or he can sit somewhere else. But this past Sunday we were late. It was my birthday, and for whatever reason we were running late. So we got there, and I didn't dare try to go up front with everybody already seated and him angry at, getting angry at me because we were late. So we just sat down toward, the middle on the right hand side. Well, about halfway through the service, I start getting distracted by this girl, I don't know, some 20-something-year-old girl, a hefty girl. She was sitting right in my line of sight. So every time I looked at the preacher, I would see this girl from behind. Well, she had on blue jeans, and she was, for whatever reason, she was leaning up onto the seat in front of her with her arms propped up on the seat in front of her. So her pants had rode down and her underwear and her butt was showing about like 3 or 4 inches, like a lot of butt showing. And every time I looked to the preacher, I would see her butt, and it was distracting me. And I said to my husband, because my daughter wasn't there with me, and normally she's the one that I would talk to about these things. I'd say, look, you see that girl's butt? But she wasn't there, so I said to my husband, this girl over here is distracting me with her butt out of her pants. And he got so mad at me. He said, I don't want to hear that in church. Just pay attention to the preacher. So I didn't say anything else. Then we got in the car after church. I said, I don't appreciate you the way you talk to me in church. He said, well, I don't appreciate you worrying about what everybody else is doing instead of listening to the preacher. I said, well, I was trying to listen to the preacher, but that girl's butt was distracting me and I couldn't help it. He said, there ain't a thing we can do about that girl's butt crack. We can't make her pull her pants up. I said, I know. I wasn't talking about making her pull her pants up. I was only saying that it was distracting me. Well, he didn't understand, as usual. You know how some men are. He didn't get it, and he thought I was just, I don't know what he thought. But anyway, the day just went downhill from there, and turned into like a 2-day fight over this girl's butt showing in church. And I was just sitting there thinking, there's somebody sitting right beside her. It's probably her mama. Why does her mama not tell her to sit back or pull her dang pants up or pull her shirt down? And then I was thinking, can she not feel the breeze on her back and her butt? I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot. It really was. It would have distracted Jesus. I mean, it was bad. So, anyway, that's what happened in church Sunday. Thank y'all.